Going to give you 25.2, which is the area of the room, divided by 0.09, which is the area of one of the tiles that we used. Whatever it gives you now is the number of tiles that will be enough to tile that room. So let's divide 25.2 by 0.09. It's giving me 280. So we needed 280 pieces of tiles, each measuring 0.3 meters to tile a room that measures 6 meters by 4.2 meters. Square ceiling boards measuring 50 cm by 50 cm was used in covering a classroom ceiling measuring 7.4 meters by 4.5 meters. We are asked to calculate the cost of the ceiling boards needed if one costs 130 naira. As I said in the first question, the first thing you do in this kind of a thing is you change the units to be the same thing. The ceiling boards are given in centimeters, so change the ceiling of the room or the classrooms to centimeters also. That means the classroom measures 7.4 times 100 by 4.5 times 100. Remember, 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. So whatever you have here is now in centimeters. This will give us 740. You can use a calculator to multiply out this by 450. So the classroom ceiling board measures 740 centimeters by 740 centimeters. Now, I want us to use a different way in approaching this question from what we did in the first question. This is the length of the ceiling of the classroom. The number of ceiling boards needed to cover that length will be 740 divided by 50. The ceiling board measures 50 by 50. So if the length of the classroom ceiling is 750, so in the length you are going to have 740 divided by the length of one ceiling. Let's use our calculator to find that value. 740 divided by 50 is giving me 14.8. This 14.8 is equivalent to 15. Only that one of the ceiling boards will be cut. Now the width of the ceiling of this classroom is measuring 450 centimeters. That means the width 450 centimeters will require 450 divided by 50. Remember, the ceiling boards are measuring 50 by 50. You will require 450 divided by 50 number of ceiling boards to be able to cover the width. And it's going to give us, let's divide, 450 divided by 50. It's giving me 9, exactly 9. So this number of ceiling boards are required for the length. This number is required for the width. That means the entire area will be 15 times 9, which is 135 pieces. You have 135 pieces of ceiling board. Now, the question says that one piece of ceiling board costs 130 naira. One piece of ceiling board, you can use 130 naira to buy it. Therefore, 135 pieces is going to be 135 times 130 pieces. Let's multiply this. 135 times 130, giving me 17,550 naira. That is the amount of money needed to buy 135 pieces of ceiling boards. If one piece of ceiling board is 130 naira. It says that the walls of a kitchen was covered by tiles measuring 15 cm by 15 cm. If the kitchen is 2.7 meter long, 2.25 meter wide, and 3 meter high, we are asked to find the number of tiles used. The ceiling and the floor only have length and width, but the walls of a room has 2 pieces of length, 2 pieces of height, of width, and height are the same both on the length and on the width. Bear it in mind. In that case, the way to calculate the number of tiles that will be equal is 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the length times the width. I take it again. 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the width times the height. Then whatever it gives you is now the number of tiles that will be required. First of all, we are going to change the whole information to a particular unit. We have been changing from centimeters to meter. We also do so in this question. They said that the kitchen is 2.7 meters long. That means 2.7 meters is the same thing as 270 centimeters. That is the length. They said the wideness of the kitchen is 2.25 meters. It's the same thing as 225 centimeters. That is the wideness. The height, they say, is 3 meters. 3 meters is something as 300 centimeters. That is the height of the kitchen. For the length, we will require 270 divided by 15 pieces of tiles for the length. And 270 divided by 15. We have 18 pieces for the length of the kitchen. For the wideness of the kitchen, we require 225 divided by 15. This is for the wideness. 225 divided by 15, giving us 15 pieces. This is for the wideness. Then for the height, we require 300 divided by 15 pieces. That is for the height. If you divide out, divided by 15, giving us 20. Pieces is for the height. In the length of the walls, the height is there. Also in the width of the walls, the height is also there. So that is why we, in trying to calculate the number of pieces of tiles that will be required now is going to be 2 times the number of pieces needed for the height. The first thing is the length. The number of pieces needed for the length, which is 18, times the number of pieces needed for the height, which is 20. Then plus 2 again times the number of pieces needed for the width or the wideness, which is 15, times the number of pieces needed for the height. Because in the length there is the height, in the width there is also the height. Now remove the brackets. 18 times 20. So we have 2 times 360 plus 2 times, let's multiply 15 and 20. 300. $360 times 2 is giving me 720. Then plus 300 times 2 is 600. Then add 720 and 600. It's giving us 1,320 pieces of tiles. That will be okay for that kitchen. That 18 pieces will be needed for the length, 15 pieces will be needed for the width, 20 pieces will be needed for the height. Question number 4 says we should calculate the number of pieces of roofing sheets that will be needed to roof the building, this building shown below. If a roofing sheet measures 2 meters by 60 centimeters. The roof of the building has been given to be 2 meters by 4 meters. And you can see it is in 2 phases, this side and the other side at the back that you cannot see. Now, first of all, what you do here is you're going to change 2 meters to centimeters. The length of the roofing sheet is 2 meters, which is the same thing as 200 centimeters. Just multiply 2 by 100 to give you 200 centimeters. The width is already 60 centimeters. That means the area of one piece of roofing sheet is going to be 200 times 60. Let's know what that will give us. 200 times 60. 12,000 square centimeters. That is the area of one sheet of the roofing sheet. Now, the roof itself, the area of the roof, is going to be equal to, you know that 2 meters means 200 meters, sorry, 200 centimeters, and 4 meters means 400 centimeters. So we have 200 times 400. Whatever it gives us will be centimeters squared. 200 times 400, 80,000 centimeters squared. $80,000 centimeters squared. Now, if you want to know the number of roofing sheets that will be required to cover this area of roof, divide the area of the roof by the area of the roofing sheets. That's going to give us 80,000 divided by 12,000. 80,000 divided by 12,000 is giving me 6.6.